And we're good to go. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Glad to see everyone here today. Have a fun, exciting call in store for you. We're going to be talking about turning those emails into sales, how to turn your autoresponder into a virtual sales machine, because that's why you're building your list, isn't it? They say on average you should be earning at least $1 per month for every subscriber that you have on your list. I'm just curious, how many of you are getting close to that? If you've got your funnel set up correctly, you should have $1 a month per subscriber. How are you guys doing with that? Is the text is working? I think. Yes. Are you guys out there? Hello. How are you guys doing with your list building? Are you earning close to or more than $1 per subscriber on your list? Hi Deb, great to see you. Nobody wants to play the game today. Come on guys, just type in the text chat. Yay or nay? No. Well, hopefully today is going to help change that, Ron. Hopefully today will change that. And you're not alone, that's for sure. I can tell you that probably most people are not earning $1 per member on their list. But I'd like to hear from you guys. My question was, I was saying, on average, internet marketers, people who have a list, you should be earning $1 a month per subscriber on your list. So, less than, says Tony. So we got to get that beefed up. We got to get your funnel in order so that we can change that, so that more people, we can change. Well, that was rude. Hopefully we are still recording. Let me see if I can bring my presentation up. I'm having some challenges. All right, bear with me. Okay, we're back. It really helps if I press the talk button when I'm speaking. You guys can hear me better. Anyways, it looks like everything is back. I am still recording. Yeah, I got booted from the room. I'm not sure why. It happened earlier. So my question was, are you making around $1 a month per subscriber on your list? It's my computer that's hiccuped, and I do apologize for that. I've got a fresh reboot on my computer, but it seems to be misbehaving today. That's all right. We'll get through this, right? So one more time before we get the call going, we're going to have a quick review of what we've talked about so far, where we've come with our training, and then we're going to talk about creating sales with your autoresponder. So quick yes or no. We've had Tony has answered and Ron has answered. Judy says nope. We'll work on that. But your list is building, right, Judy? And you have made some money from your list. I know you have. So we're getting there. Brenda says less. So less. All right. Well, you know what? Those are the answers I want to hear, because my hope today is that you'll get a better understanding of what you need to do to increase that number. And what you need to do is be in touch with your list more. You need to be in touch with your list more. You need to continue to build your list. If your list is stale, you need new people on your list. And, it's a stale list can be woken up depending on your activity with it. And it's about being active with your list and following up with them with important information. And a lot of that can be automated through your autoresponder. So we're going to talk about that today. So we've talked about a lot in the last 4 or 5 webinars that we had. We talked about Instant Squeeze Page Generator, one of the simplest squeeze page creators out there. You can even download the HTML and add it to your own blog, so you've got your own page it can go to. So it's really highly functional, highly adaptable, and works really well. So for those who don't yet have a lead capture system, you really want to look at connecting that, because at the end of the day, if you're not building your list here on the internet, I hate to say it, but you're pretty much wasting your time. You guys agree with me? I know you do, right? You all know that, right? That your primary objective here on the internet is to build your list. I just want to double check. Okay. I was going to ask the question. I saved you guys the embarrassment of asking the question. What's your primary objective? But it is your primary objective on the internet and with your business is to build your list, because it's from your list that you're going to build your business. It's your list members who are going to join your programs and buy your services, buy your products, join the affiliate programs and buy those products, join your MLM, join your own products and purchase your own products. Whatever it is that you're selling, you need to have a list to sell it to. And it is not hard to build a list. It's really and truly not hard. And your list is going to be as big as the resources that you have at your disposal. That's really what it boils down to. All right, you can have the most amazing lead capture page in the system, but unless you're getting traffic to that lead capture page on a regular basis, you're not going to build your list. And you need to be promoting a lot, and that should be your primary objective. Advertising online is advertising a lead capture page of some sort. Now, for those who are program owners, who have their own traffic exchanges, their own viral mailers, their own ebook, their own LFM membership script set up, then that's a little different, because your sign up page is basically building your list. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? And we did some talk on following up and follow through, and we're going to do some more on that, because I know that it's the one area that everyone struggles with. So, moving forward, we're going to talk about advertising your capture page, where to get that out there. There's lots of ways to advertise, and it really does depend on your budget. And, a low budget means you're going to be spending a lot of time advertising. If you have a good budget, you should get good results and good return on your money very quickly if you're doing it right. But building your list is only part of the process. Following up and following through, making sure your funnel isn't leaking, making sure those emails are getting out there consistently, that your flow is working, that people are hearing from you. That's what this is all about. We give it all kinds of fancy names, and there's all kinds of systems out there that are, ready-made funnels. And at the end of the day, it comes down to your autoresponder series and whether there are any holes in it, where they can be fixed, and how you can change what you're doing with your follow-up to encourage more sales. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to really get that going. Now, I'm going to be using a specific example when we talk about sales letters. I'm going to be talking about promoting a webinar, because you can really use that even with the webinars that we do here, because we encourage you to invite others through the Know How Guys website. How many of you have registered with the Know How Guys website? I'm just going to put the link in here. You all, if you have, then you have a website just like this one that you can share with people who can register for these webinars and sign up under you. So it's another use of the membership site, the LFM script. It's another way for you to see how to use that. If you haven't registered, please do register. You'll have your own number, so your link will look just like that. It'll have your affiliate number. If you log into the Know How Guys website, click on the affiliate link, you will have your own affiliate link that you can share with your list members. So this is something you can send out to your current autoresponder list. You guys are always wondering, what kind of emails can I write? Well, isn't that a great autoresponder letter? So to make sure that your subscribers at some point in that email series are encouraged to sign up for the Know How Guys website, so that they can come to these free webinars and learn about what we're doing. And at the same time, you could earn another income stream. Do you guys get that? We've talked a lot about building your list and building your list with an autoresponder, having a capture page to funnel your prospects, making sure you have that series of emails. And I'm going to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it until you guys are doing this in your sleep. And I do want to apologize for my voice. Let's cross our fingers that it stays in production for the rest of the call. I am at the tail end of a cold that I brought back from Victoria. You know, you like to bring souvenirs home from your vacation, but not those. Anyways, it sounds sexy. Oh, well, thank you, Ron. Never had anyone say that before, other than my husband. It sounds sexy. It's that deep, throaty sound. My voice is already deep enough. Oh, so I got a big question to you guys, to all of you there, because, you know, we did the survey and it's a bit alarming to me how many people are still not on board with having an autoresponder and a capture page. So I'm just going to ask the quick question before we get into all the autoresponders, because you still need to know this information and you need to have a good idea how this all flows, and you really need to understand everything we're going to be talking about. But I want to know how many of you actually have an autoresponder set up and a form somewhere to capture leads. Just a quick yes or no. Do you have an autoresponder set up that's attached to a somewhere where you can get leads, whether it's on your blog or you have a lead capture system like the instant squeeze page? So mostly yeses, but I haven't heard from everybody, so I'm going to assume if you haven't answered, then your answer is no. Okay? So if your answer is no, it is your primary objective before you do anything else. Before you go to Facebook and read your timeline and get lost in space, before you play another game on your phone, you need to get an autoresponder set up and you need a capture page, okay? So Instant Squeeze Page Generator is free. If you click on any of the links in here, it should take you to a website so you can sign up for that. And you can get a squeeze page set up even without an autoresponder, because it'll list your leads there. But you really do need an autoresponder, and there's many out there. Contact your sponsor that you sign up with, and I'm sure that they would be happy to recommend an autoresponder for you, okay? All right, so everybody else is on board. You have your capture page set up. So we're going to spend some time today talking about your sales letters, your autoresponder follow-up series that many of you really need to work on. Am I right? How many of you will be bold out there and let me know that your autoresponder series is something that it does need work on? You need to be adding more letters. You need to be really understanding how you're supposed to do all this. And you know, I know there are only so many hours in a day. I appreciate that. But there are things, if you want to make money on the internet, there are things that you need to do. And so you need to make that a priority before you do anything else. So before you even get out there advertising every day, which you need to do, that's got to be part of your daily routine, you need to be adding to that autoresponder series. And because I know many of you are at the point, and I'm pretty sure I'm right here, I'm going to go out on a limb, but many of you are at the point where you've been hearing me talk about how to expand your autoresponder. Today we're going to talk about a whole flow of a series, from inviting someone to a webinar and following up with them about that webinar, okay? But you guys know that I've talked a lot about expanding your autoresponder series, and we're going to talk more about that today. And many of you here are victims of signing up for a lot of programs, and you have no idea how you're supposed to promote all those programs. You know, and most of them are probably advertising resources. Some of them are probably affiliate programs that you could be earning income from, but you know, there's only so many hours in the day to advertise, right? Am I right? And so what you want to do, and I know this is stuff you've all heard before, and I'm going to say it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Your primary objective is to build your list. Once you've got those subscribers coming in, those are the people that are going to hear about everything you're doing. And so you're going to use that autoresponder to that list, and you're going to add to that list emails about the programs and products that you have to offer. Now, you're not just going to write email after email and say, buy this, buy this, buy this. That's not what this is about. We've talked about that on our other calls. But this is something you need to do. You need to spend, and seriously, guys, it'll take you 10 minutes. Once you get into the routine of doing this, it will literally take you 10 minutes to go in and add another autoresponder for something. So let's say it's time for you to go and email one of your viral mailers. Well, before you email it, log in, get your affiliate link, go to your autoresponder and add an autoresponder message to your follow-up messages. Doesn't matter where you put it in your sequence. It could just be at the end of your sequence, and just let them know this is a really great resource that you're using to get leads for your business and that it's working really well for you. It's free to join or it's not, whatever it is. Say that in your email, keep it short, and just let them know you highly recommend this service. It doesn't have to be a lengthy sales letter. It simply needs to be a recommendation from you. If you did one of those every day, number one, you're going to have a wonderful series of letters set up in your autoresponder. And number two, you're going to start getting emails that let you know you've got signups in those programs. And through that, people are going to upgrade, which means you're going to earn a commission. Does that make sense to you guys? And seem easy enough to do? Like, this is not rocket science, but it's something that you have to wrap your head around and recognize that, okay, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm coming to my computer, whenever that is during the day, to do work for my home-based business. Right? This is work time. I'm dedicating an hour or two, however much time you have. The first 10 minutes of that hour or two, you're going to log in to whatever program you want to promote. You're going to grab the affiliate link. You're going to go to your autoresponder, and you're going to add a follow-up message. So who wants to commit to doing that this week? Because I'm going to follow up with you not next week. Who's going to commit? Just say, I commit. Who's going to commit to doing that this week? One a day. I mean, if you're ambitious, do more than one. Good for you. The more you do, the better it is. But don't think you have to do them all at once. If you did one a day, in a year, you're going to have 365 programs set up. Deb says, biggest problem is setting up autoresponder emails that are not full of spam words. You know what, Deb? I recommend you worry less about that and just get the emails set up. You can edit them later if you find they're going to spam. Okay? Not all emails go to spam. And I mean, I'm suggesting that you write an email that says, this is a service that I am using successfully to generate leads for my business. I highly recommend it. If it's a safe list or a traffic exchange, if you're promoting an affiliate program that has a product that you're using or a service that you're using, then you let them know, this is a product I'm using. I really like it because I highly recommend it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Does that make sense? And don't worry about setting up emails that aren't full of spam words. Just write a simple email that's from you, in your words, not a sales letter, but something that is going to invite your subscribers to come and look at what you're doing. Now, to truly encourage sales, you need to stay in touch with your readers. Well, isn't this a great way to stay in touch with your readers? You're going to have your series of emails that are based on your funnel that brought them to your list in the first place, okay? Because you're either encouraging them to come to a webinar, which is what our example is going to talk about here. You're encouraging them to come to a webinar, or you're encouraging them to download an ebook, or you're encouraging them to get something. Are you with me here? Ron's going to commit, and MBT43, I think that says, is going to commit. That's two of you. But Tony's going to commit starting Thursday. Awesome. Judy's going to commit. You should all commit to doing this, okay? So you're going to have a series of emails that are going to be specific to whatever they downloaded or whatever they're looking for from the opt-in form, okay? These emails we've been talking about here are add-ons. They're going to create that list into a never-ending funnel. Your members will get emails from you for quite a while. Sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? So you aren't going to just have 5 or 6 emails. You will continue to add that and introduce them to everything else you're doing, because I know everybody here is in internet marketing. You're in network marketing of some sort. You're promoting and using all the viral programs that we teach you to use here. And what you need to do is get all of those together so that as you build your list, because you should be using all those resources to build your list, and then you promote those resources to that list. Deb says, do you put your emails into the series or send out periodic broadcasts? Both. Both, Deb. And so what you want to do, because remember, when you're sending out a broadcast, only the people who are on your list are getting that email. So what I would do, you see, is I would send a broadcast. So if I joined a new program, so let's say I joined XYZ viral mailer out there, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my autoresponder and send a broadcast email that says, hey, you know, so-and-so that I've worked with for years and years just launched a new whatever, and I've already tested it, and it's working phenomenally well. I highly recommend you have a look at it. Then I'm going to go into my autoresponder, and I'm going to add a follow-up message about that program so that when new people join my list, they will get that follow-up message. And the people who are already on my list, if they're halfway through the series, will get that email down the road, which means they'll get introduced to it again. Does that make sense, Deb? So both. So it really depends what it is, because your emails should be timely, meaning that it should be, that we call it evergreen, meaning it's never going to run out. I mean, some programs come and go, but when you're setting up your follow-up emails and adding emails for programs and that, you know, that they're usually things that people can use forever. They're not gonna, it's not gonna end. It's not like there's a sale today. You know, if there's a sale on a program or a sale on something that you use, you're just gonna want to send a broadcast to the people who are on your list. You wouldn't set that up as a follow-up, okay? So let's take an example here so we can go through the flow so that you can kind of get your head into the flow of promoting something and following up about it. So you guys all have access to invite people to a free webinar. And maybe these webinars are promoting high ticket items. We don't promote high ticket items here, but let's face it, once they get in the system, there's a lot of things that we could be promoting to our list, right? So we're teaching them how to build a list. So you can kind of put the two together. But there are a lot of programs out there, and some of you are probably part of them, where you have an affiliate link where you can invite someone to a free webinar where they are promoted a high ticket item. You're going to want to stay in contact with these people. So they're going to register for the webinar, and then you want to follow up about that webinar. And I'm going to keep reminding you that that's not all you're going to do. You're also going to follow up about everything else you're doing, right? That gets them in the door. So it gets them in the door, it gets them interested in what you're doing, they get to see the flow, and then that flow continues, and they really are encouraged to stay connected with you. So your first email is going to be your initial follow-up email, and you want to make sure that that email either has access to the live webinar, or if it's a replay, if it's one that's recorded, make sure you give them that link. All right, so if they've been invited to a live event and the live event is over, make sure that it's the link to the replay. Or if you're giving away a free ebook, make sure the link to that ebook is in there. Does that make sense? So your very first email should be absolutely relevant to the form they filled out. So whatever you have on your form to encourage people to subscribe, your first email is specifically about that. If you are inviting them to a live event, this is where you would use your broadcast feature to go in and remind them that the event is coming up. And I can't say that you can send too many of those, all right? Reminders are always good. I've seen people that send them out the day before, and then they'll send them out 8 hours before, 4 hours before, 2 hours, an hour before, and then even 15 minutes before. And it does, make a difference. It does have people pay attention. Now, your second email in the series about the product or service. Because remember, we can interject emails that have no sales page or no sales link in them. Just an email that says, hey, are we connected on Skype? My Skype ID is XYZ. Please add me so that we can connect for free. I'd love to hear what you're involved in, or I'd love to hear about what you're looking for. I'd love to see if there's something we can do to work together. It's a good idea to interject those emails in between your sales letters. But your second sales letter is going to be the replay of the live event. And if your first email was a replay, this would be one to ask them if they've already watched it. I encourage you to watch this replay. And maybe give them a little idea of what they're going to learn on the replay if they haven't already watched it. And you're going to give them a call to action, because you're going to assume that they actually have watched it already. You're going to give them a call to action to purchase the program that was promoted on the webinar. Or if you've given away a free ebook, you're going to encourage them to purchase whatever it is that is part of that ebook. Make sense? These are easy to write too, guys. Now, I know that most of you, and if there's any, sales copywriters out there, this is where you want to plug your ears and don't listen to me, because you won't like what I'm going to say. You don't need to be high-end sales copywriters. Don't get me wrong. It's a really good idea to understand sales copy and, to know how to get people's attention. But at the end of the day, it's about getting out there and being yourself. There is a place for the actual sales letter. I think that's on the website. I think your email should be to get them to go to the website. And I think it should be something personal from you in your own voice. There's lots of templates out there for you to use. I'm certainly happy to help you guys whenever you need it to, write a quick email to promote a product or have them come and look at it. But at the end of the day, it would be just like talking to a friend. I've got this really great system that I've been using that's working really well for me. It could work for you too. Why don't you have a look here? Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help any way I can. Always offer yourself to help them. This is not a hands-off business in any shape or form. These follow-up messages are not designed to create that for you. There's no such thing as a hands-off business. What this is going to do, by having a series of emails that are selling your products and services, it's going to show you who the active members are, because your subscribers are going to purchase things along the line, and when they do, that becomes an active subscriber. That's somebody you want to connect with. That's right, Tony. A lot of programs that you're going to be promoting, including here with all the programs at Advertising Know-How, there's emails already set up for you. Use them. And like Tony says, reword them. Reword them in your own voice, because, I don't know about you guys. I don't speak like other people. I use different words. I say things in a different way. And I think that people need to get to know you. Otherwise, they get this email that sounds like this pretty high-end sales letter, and they're pretty intrigued by it. And then they talk to you, and, you don't speak that way. Do you see what I'm saying? So people really need to get to know the real you. Your third email could be a case study about someone who has used the program or service. Whether it's somebody who has come to you and said they've used it, it could be, your own, but it's better if it's a third party, if it's somebody else who is recommending that product or service. They've used it, it worked for them. It's worked for me, it worked for Joe. Look what Joe said about it. it could work for you too. Does that make sense? When you combine this with a great offer, reading about the results of someone else is a powerful motivator. You could get these results too. Be sure to click here and check it out. Are you guys with me so far? Now your fourth email, you're going to remind them again that the replay is going away. It's a really good idea if you have something, if you're offering them something for free, make it available only for a limited time. Now, sometimes that might be a difficult thing to do, but there are programs out there that, put timers on webinars, so they are only available for a certain amount of time for that visitor. So I've also found that even if you let them know it could be going away, and that is another way to word it. So instead of saying the replay is going away, say that this replay may not last much longer. Answer some objections. Like we all know the basic objections out there. Make sure you give them a few pointers about that, and let them know about the refund policy for the program, and remind them about the offer and why it would be good for them. Keep it simple, but in every email, number one, you want to ask them how they're doing. Did they watch it? Do they have any questions? You might, if you know that most websites or programs have an FAQ section, so you could grab some of the FAQs and put them in your email. Makes a great email. Here's what some of the members have asked about. Look what so-and-so is saying about this. Make sense? You're all going to be experts pretty soon. I'm expecting next week to hear that you guys put this into action and you're seeing a lot of activity from your list, because I can promise you that if you get your emails set up properly and you get a series of them going, so if you were to do this tomorrow and you did it every day, that means in a week your subscribers would have seen a week's worth of emails, and I would expect you would start to see some activity in the programs. I'd be surprised if you don't. So I'm looking forward to you guys sharing all that with us next week, okay? So be prepared to do that. So the last email is going to be your final reminder that the offer is going to go away soon. Maybe there's a one-time offer to get it at a lower cost, something like that. So you want to encourage them to write you back if they have questions or if they need help with anything. And make sure, again, you give them a call to action. So every email, really, they're basically all the same. They're just all worded a little differently, and you'll take one point about the product or service, and that becomes the focal point of your email. Now imagine how many emails you could write. You know what? Here's another great idea. If you get a really good sales letter in your inbox and you're thinking, wow, look at all that stuff, you could take each point and make that point an email. Like you can copy those emails, reword them, of course, and they could become an email in your series. Make sense? Now from here on, one thing you want to do, see my slide is my text is a little off. If your reader by the 6th or 7th email hasn't purchased anything or taken action, they may not be interested. Now there are ways in autoresponders as well that where you can tell if somebody's purchased and you can move them to another list. But from this point forward, right, because we've been talking about the product or service that you're offering, that they signed up for. So they filled out a form to either get a free ebook or go to this webinar and learn about a product that you're selling. And so that's what the focus of your first few emails has been. Now is where we want to continue to follow up about the other products and services that you're offering and interjecting them with personal emails like Let's Connect on Facebook, etc. You can include case studies, tips. There's so many things that you could be writing emails, But I don't want that to bog you down, because you already have a list of programs that you can write emails about. So let's keep it simple, but let's get it done. Because I know you're going to start to see more activity. Keep your subjects simple. Here's a recommendation. I'm getting good results from this. Have you looked at this yet? Asking questions I find to be one of the best ways to get people to open your email. Another one is just to say, open me. It's a great heading for an email. It gets people to open very quickly. So most autoresponders give you the ability to do rules. And so they'll know if so-and-so subscribes to, if they've purchased something and it puts them on list, it will remove them from another list. If your autoresponder offers that, you want to set that up. Otherwise, you could do it manually. So if somebody purchases or joins one of your programs, you may want to remove them from that list and add them to a different list. Either a list that lets people know that these are the people who've purchased from you, things like that. To be honest with you, I haven't really done that because I'm finding that, things are always moving forward and changing, and because I have everything in that list, I keep them there because I'm always sharing new things that may be of interest to them, even if they've already purchased my products or services. Does that make sense? Say yes. This is where I see if you're still awake. My voice is disappearing a bit, I can tell. I can feel the strain on my throat. Now, setting up all these emails, if you take the time to do it, it really is going to give you somewhat of a hands-off approach. But it's only a hands-off approach to your emails because you're confident that your subscriber, once you do the work, they're getting the emails. Now, your job, your job is to pay attention to the people who are taking action. Most autoresponders show you who's opening your email, shows you who clicked your links. You can follow up just with them. Those are things you can do. If somebody does join one of your programs, add them to a different list, or keep them separate so that these are the people who are taking action. Because the more action they take, the more attention they get. Okay, those are the people you really want to give attention to because they're the action takers. They're making things happen, and you want to work with them to continue that happening. Make sense? Now, I'm not saying give up on the rest. That's what your autoresponder is for. Your autoresponder is there to encourage others to eventually take action. And I get asked this question all the time. How long do you keep somebody on your list? Anybody want to answer? How long would you keep somebody on your autoresponder list? 6 months? A year? Oh, see, you guys are too smart. I can't fool you. That's right. It's up to them. That's right. Until they remove themselves. It's up to them. I had an interaction with someone in my inbox the other day. She'd replied to me or forwarded an email that was, all this sales stuff that I had no interest in, and there was no unsubscribe or anything. And I wrote her back because it wasn't the first time she'd done it. I wrote her back and I said, please don't send me this stuff anymore. I really don't have any interest. And there's nowhere to unsubscribe. And she got really nasty. Well, then quit sending me your stuff. And I wrote her back and I said, my emails all have an unsubscribe link. And if you unsubscribe, you won't receive my information anymore. And then she got mad at me again. And she says, if you send me another email, I'm going to report you. And I thought, you have no idea what you're talking about, but okay, you go right ahead. And so I thought that was pretty funny. People are interesting online, and so you need to make sure that they understand the rules of the road, and that's why it's so important to use a good professional autoresponder that has that unsubscribe link, because then you don't need to worry about it. They filled out the form to get the information. They gave you permission to send them the emails. Now it's up to them to unsubscribe if they're no longer interested. And, I used to get upset when people unsubscribe, but I don't anymore. It's just, you know what? I'm looking for people who want to get that information. Now, remember that in between all these sales emails, you want to make sure that you're reaching out personally. Don't make every email a sales email. Send them your contact information. Maybe you want to send an article that has nothing to do with business, that doesn't have any business links. Just send them an article that's relevant or interesting. You might want to share your Facebook link, how to connect with you on LinkedIn and Twitter, etc. Oh, well, unsubscribe links that take you to a sales page. Yeah, I'm with you there, Brian. There's not much you can do about that, but it shouldn't. It is okay for it to do that, I think. I don't know. They could turn you in. Except then they're not, if they want to unsubscribe, why do I want to keep selling them? They're just not interested. Yeah, last ditch effort, that's right. But you know what? It works for some. It does. It does work. But I don't do that because that's not who I am. And this is really important. Really, 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 really important. The people on your list need to get to know who you are. And so you want to make sure that your emails are a reflection of that, not a reflection of somebody else. That they're getting to know you through your emails, that they're getting to hear the voice of Deb and Brian and Todd and Brenda, not the voice of someone else. All right? Now, it's okay to copy other emails if you see an email that just really intrigues you, but change the wording. Write it in your own words. It takes time to do that. Time well worth investing, believe me. Well worth it. Now, as I said, if you haven't already, make sure that you get signed up for the webinars and you have your own link that looks kind of like this. That's a link directly to invite people to these webinars, and it attaches them to you. There is a place at Know How Guys to Upgrade. Highly recommend it. It gets you all the replays. Everything is there for you at your disposal. And it's a great way to connect with people. And it just shows you another way to use the membership script, which we will be talking about more in the future. I just feel right now that we need to focus on list building, the autoresponder, and the funnel so that you guys get a really good understanding of that. And then I really do want to take you into understanding how you can apply all of that to the membership script and start to have your own place where people will come and promote you. It's lots of fun when that happens, believe me. Right, Tony? Okay, so one more time. Who is going to commit to adding to their autoresponder this week? You're going to add emails every day. You're going to spend time every single day. It's going to be the first thing you do when you come to your computer to do your business. And you're going to add 1 or 2 a day, however many you feel comfortable doing, promoting all the programs and affiliate programs you've joined. Okay? So I'm going to write this down. We've got Deb and Judy and Ron. Now you guys got to show up next week, okay? Eric already has 6 months worth. Excellent, Eric. Well, in the next week you should be able to get a few more in there. 6 months worth is quite a bit. And so Eric, have you set up emails that are all relevant to the programs and services that you've joined, all your affiliate programs, all the viral mailers you've joined, all the traffic exchanges, etc., etc.? I'm just curious if that's part of what's in your emails. What I really want to get across to you guys is that writing follow-up emails doesn't have to be a challenge. It doesn't have to be hard. And, Deb brought up a good point about, the spam words. Well, I'm really of a mind if your email is simple, it's less likely it's going to get chucked into that spam folder. Oh, it starts as a training and then gets into the programs. That's awesome. And that's the way to do it, Eric. You bring them through. I love that idea that you can bring them through a training, so you're teaching them something and then you're giving them the programs to use with what they've just learned. That's awesome. So we have a few of you who have committed to adding more emails to your autoresponder. I am going to challenge each of you to add 10 new subscribers to your list this week. That's not a lot. And I bet most of you aren't getting that now. If you could add 5 a day, that would be really awesome. That would give you 35 new subscribers. But what I really want you to do is keep track, as of now, how many subscribers, new subscribers, you add to your subscriber list this week. Okay? Who's on board to do that? All right, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to get out there and add as many as you can. Add 5 a day. If you went on Facebook and you asked 5 people to look at your capture page, most of them would probably fill it out if you asked them, right? Giving it your best shot's all I'm asking, Deb. Because really, it's about doing it. It's about getting your page out there, getting your capture page out there every single day. And what that's going to allow you to do is to make that list of all those programs you need to get into your autoresponder. So it's a double challenge. Okay, 5 a day. That's 35 subscribers this week. You know, one solo ad would get that for you. Just saying. So next week, I want you to come and report. Okay? So next Tuesday, come with your list in hand and say, I had such a successful week. I followed your suggestions. I stayed focused on the task. So here's the challenge, all right? When you come to your computer, before you go and do anything, before you get on Facebook, before you do all that stuff, make sure you get your advertising done, that you're getting active advertising, active traffic to your capture page every single day. Once you've got that out of the way, you are free to do whatever you want to do. Sound good? Are you guys on board with that? If your business isn't growing, it's because you aren't growing your business. You aren't putting the effort where the effort needs to go. And that's what we're hoping to teach you here, so that you can start to see activity, so that you can start getting that income coming in from the people on your list, so that you can start making real money here online, so you can start sponsoring people into your business. That is what you want, isn't it? And most of you here are not earning that income at this point. And so if you're not earning that income, we got to get your focus back on track and make sure that you're spending time every single day building your list, and that list is promoting the programs and services that you belong to. It's easy to get caught up in busy work, Judy, but that's every day you got to ask yourself, what income producing activities did I do today? Did I build my list? When you make that a priority, you know, it might mean you get up an hour earlier in the morning before anybody gets up and you do your advertising. You get that out of the way. Then you don't have to worry about it. Then you're going to spend your time following up with all those great new subscribers you're going to have every day. How exciting will that be? Is that worth getting up a little hour earlier? Yeah, it is. I know you know. You're doing a great job. But it is easy to get caught up in busy work. All of a sudden the day is gone and you're like, whoa, I didn't get that done. I have a list. I keep a list of the things I need to do every day, the things I want to get done every day. And when I write them down on my list, they usually get done. I have to remind myself, I have to look at my list and say, did I get that done yet? No. Okay, well, this is the next one on the list. This needs to get done. I better do that right now. I don't look at my Facebook messages. I don't look at my Skype messages. I don't look at my phone. I get it done. How do you get it done? How do you make that decision to get it done? You just do. Do I use a schedule? Well, I schedule myself around my webinars, so I know I have webinars and I have to have those ready, and there's certain times of the day that I know I have available to do certain things. So I'm usually, it's first thing in the morning that I do my advertising, or the last thing in the evening before I shut down is when I'll do my advertising. Sometimes during the day I do it if I have some free time. So I have my list of things to do. I prioritize what needs to get done, and then I go about my day doing it. My day is pretty flexible. I don't leave it that strict. I just know that I need to get these things done, and I do them. And I work full time from home, so I schedule time. I work mostly in the morning. I'm an early riser, so I get most of my stuff done in the morning, which leaves me free to do what I want to do in the afternoon and what have you. But so I have a plan, I have a schedule, but it's not one that is like glue. But that's me. Not everybody can work that way, right? Some people need to have a schedule. If I had all this written down in my calendar and I said, well, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, I'm doing this, and from 3 to 4, I'm doing this, and it would drive me nuts. Well, if you're spending 12 hours a day here and it's not working, you're spending way too much time here, Deb. Way too much time. You don't need 12 hours a day to make money online. You need an hour or two of focused advertising, sending traffic to your capture page. The rest of the time you spend following up, and you could spend an hour on Facebook actually making contact, reaching out and having conversations. It's about doing activities that are going to bring results. And I do find, not to narrow you up, but I'm really glad you brought it up, Deb, because it's a problem on the internet, okay? It is a challenge for people to stay focused on the things that are bringing them income, because they're doing things that aren't bringing them income. And they're spending too much time doing those things and not enough time doing the things that will bring you income, which is building your list. And we'll talk more about building your list coming up in future webinars. But yeah, if you're spending 12, 14 hours a day and you're not getting results, absolute burnout. But you know what? I mean, I'm here 10, 12 hours a day, but I'm having fun doing it. And I don't get burned out because I have things that I know I need to do, and I know the rest will get done. Yeah, don't let non-money making things distract you. And that's what happens. We get distracted. Somebody wants our attention. So here's the question I'm going to ask you. Is your home-based business as important to you as a job? Because if you were at a job, nobody else would do that. If you have too many irons in the fire, get rid of the irons, Deb. Figure out which ones are going to pay you and work on them. Build your list. Get all those irons in your autoresponder, and you don't have to have them in the fire. Does that make sense, Deb? I hope it does. Get your irons in your autoresponder, and then they're not in the fire anymore, and the only thing you need to worry about is building your list. Doesn't that sound easier? Spend a little bit of time sending traffic to your website. Spend some time on social media making contact with real people, asking those people to fill out your form. It's not that hard, guys. And the rest of the time, go play, learn to blog. There are way too many distractions on the internet. You can spend all day just on Facebook clicking stuff and reading people's timelines. Goodness gracious. You have to pick and choose your enemies, and you have to pick and choose your vices. Make your business important to you. It's not a hobby. So stop treating it like a hobby and start treating it like a business, and everything will change. I promise you. I'm looking forward to you guys committing to that this week, to making a difference in your business, to getting your focus on track. And maybe that's something that we'll talk about in the future here is how to create an action plan that you can follow. Because too many people don't have an action plan. They're stabbing in the dark. They're here, there, and everywhere, and they're really not focused on the things that matter. And I'm here to help you get focused on the things that matter. Sound good? Any questions before we wrap up for today? You guys have been great. Yeah, you can waste your life on Facebook or improve your life building your business. And you build your business by building your list. That's where it starts. Get those subscribers on your list, get that autoresponder set up and flowing. Make sure it's working. And when you're done all that, we'll let you have a half an hour wasting your life on Facebook. So we all good? You guys have committed this week. All right, here's what you've all committed to. You've committed to setting up your letters in your autoresponder for the programs and services that you use. And you committed to adding 5 new subscribers a day over the next week. So when you come in next week, I want to hear a big resounding yes that you've added at least 1 new email to your autoresponder. I hope you'll do more. And that I want to hear how many new subscribers you have. I'm looking forward to you telling me you've got 100 new subscribers or 200 new subscribers. It's going to be exciting. Looking forward to it. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for committing to this. Thank you for being here and participating. It makes doing these a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys next week. Love y'all. Bye for now.